Hey there, friends. Have you guys seen any of the interview that Kamala Harris had with Oprah Winfrey? It was Thursday night. Trust me, I didn't watch it, so I don't expect any of you guys to have watched that mess anyway. I mean, it's a scripted thing that none of us expect any real challenging questions. I mean, Oprah is our friend, so of course Oprah's going to lay down some softball cotton candy questions for her. So nothing really substantial came out of that. However, I was a little bit, let me just say, surprised at how Kamala, when it's not in the script, she just says stupid stuff. Oprah asked her about being a gun owner, and this is what Kamala had to say.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes, I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
But
my staff will deal with that later.
Yeah. But you have been a gun owner for a while.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot. I mean, that's how we would talk, right? Because we believe in defending ourselves and protecting our stuff. Do you really think Kamala's shooting anybody? If somebody breaks in Kamala's house, they probably gonna get shot. But it ain't by Kamala. It's by the Secret Service and whoever the armed guards are that she's hired and paid really good money for. Trust me, she ain't shooting nobody when they break in her house. I can promise you that. But I've found it extremely interesting how Cam Edwards came out on Bearing Arms and asked some pretty interesting questions after this interview took place with Oprah. Here's some of the things he had to say. He states that the CNN report that ran on Friday included 2 more details about this occurrence. The gun she referred to in 2019 is the same one she supposedly owns now, and she keeps her gun securely stored at her home in Los Angeles. But CNN also reported that the Harris campaign, quote, declined to share what year she first became a gun owner or any other details about the firearm and her ownership of it. Some of the things that Cam points out that we don't know about that particular gun is how often does she go to the range or practice or train with her gun? We can assume never, right? I mean, she's not really she's trying to position herself as a gun owner, but she's really not. I mean, she ain't one of us. Let's get past that now. She can say, if somebody breaks in my house, I'm going to get shot. It still doesn't make her one of us, right? We understand that, and we all know that. He also says, is her pistol available to all gun buyers in California, or is it an off-roster gun available only to law enforcement? That was a pretty interesting question to me, because she can only buy from a list of, about 200 guns in California that you can have access to. A lot of you may not know that. California, when a new gun comes out by Glock or SIG or Smith & Wesson or whomever, it's not immediately available in California. The Department of Justice, the California Department of Justice, has only approved, I think it's around 200 guns to be sold in the state of California. So just because somebody introduces a new model does not mean it's going to be available. In fact, it's not going to be available. It has to be approved by the California DOJ. So great question by Cam as whether or not the gun that she claims she has, which she doesn't want to talk about, is it available to every other person in California, or is it some kind of favor that she got? More on that in a second. What's the magazine capacity of the pistol? Another great question. Is this a magazine capacity thing? Because she's always talking about, quote, high capacity magazines. In fact, she said in the Oprah Winfrey interview that she wanted to limit magazine capacity. So curious to know how many she had. Now my guess is it's probably some stupid little dinky revolver, because she's not a gun person. She's probably too intimidated by a semi-auto. So I'm just guessing here, but that's probably what it is. But interesting to know if she does have something that will hold more than 10 rounds. Now looking at the other questions that Cam has, all very relevant questions, but I had one that immediately whenever I saw the Oprah Winfrey interview and then I saw Cam's thing on this whole setup, I was like, I have my own questions. Maybe the reason why she doesn't want to talk about the gun that she has is, one, maybe it's a lie. Maybe she doesn't have a gun. And she can't talk gun stuff because if she doesn't have one and she's lying about it, she doesn't know what gun to describe. But I think she has a gun. And I think this is the real issue. Kamala Harris is a pompous ass. Kamala Harris has never been one to want to play by the rules. She's the one that feels like dropping on her knees and getting under a desk is what is going to get her to that next level, so she doesn't have to lower herself any other time to do anything that us normal people would do. So she doesn't have to do the normal stuff. Just like the grocery shopping video that we saw. She doesn't grocery shop. She doesn't know how to shop for anything. That's beneath her. Do you honestly think she went in 2019 and filled out a background check? I don't care what state she's in or what state she was in. Do you think Kamala Harris would take time out of her super busy day, because she's a super important person? In 2019, she would have been a U.S. Senator. Do you honestly think that she filled out her 4473 on her own? So if that's the case, and she did not fill out a 4473, what does that mean? It means somebody gifted her a gun. It means that person either had a gun already and gave it to her, or they filled the 4473 out and they gave it to her. Which, straw purchase, right? She's over here talking in the same interview about universal background checks. Universal background checks would outlaw somebody else giving a gun to Kamala Harris. I think that's why she doesn't want to talk about the particular model that she has, because it may have more than 10 rounds in the magazine, and she doesn't want to talk about how she acquired it, because she got it against the rule and the law that she herself would like to pass to outlaw that type of transaction. You see, Kamala Harris knows that if she divulges this information, it's going to be extremely hard for her to run on a campaign if she happens to get elected. And I don't think she will, but if she does, she's going to be pushing for these same things that she, in fact, would have taken advantage of in order to acquire a gun. I want you guys to ask yourself very seriously, am I on the wrong track or the right track? Do you think Kamala Harris sees it as being beneath her to go fill out a 4473? Because guess what that means? That's asking permission from somebody to acquire something. Kamala is far too pompous to ask anybody permission for anything. By God, I'm a U.S. Senator. I don't need to do that. Go get me a gun. Give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you think, what your thoughts are on all this, and if I'm on the right track or not. Please like, subscribe, guys. Again, you know YouTube is playing the games with all of us 2A guys. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the video. I'd very much appreciate that. And please click that bell. That way you know whenever I upload a new video, which I do daily, you will get a notification on that and when that premiere is going to be. I try to premiere all of my videos. So it's really interesting and fun because we are able to have a chat during that premiere of that live video. So it's a lot of fun if you hop into the chat room once or twice and experience that on your own. You'll recognize a lot of the faces over time because the same people come in there, and it's really a lot of fun. So check it out. Subscribe to the videos. Thanks again for watching, guys.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.